A tough sporting mission with a twist of diplomacy. America's national wrestling team is in Kermanshah, Iran for the World Cup. A trip that almost fell through because of tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Olympic gold medalist Jordan Burroughs saying the team is just happy to be here.
It was difficult being pawns in the game of, political powers that really essentially were deciding our fate. And so it was a little difficult for a period of time, but we stayed the course. We continued to train, continued to prepare, and luckily we were able to come.
Iran originally refused to grant Team USA visas in retaliation for the Trump administration's travel ban that also targeted Iran. But after U.S. courts blocked the ban, the visas came through.
Of course, there was a lot of uncertainty for the Team USA wrestlers, not knowing for a very long time whether they'd be able to come here to Iran at all. But now that they've made it, they say their main focus is to compete hard and win big.
Iran and America are wrestling powerhouses. Many U.S. wrestlers, stars in Iran, like Olympic gold medalist Kyle Snyder.
Every Iranian that I've ever come in contact with have always been extremely respectful, extremely polite. So, like you said, there's a little bit of turmoil politically, but definitely you don't see that within the sport. We respect each other as competitors and as people.
Team USA received a raging welcome when they arrived here, both from Iranian officials and fans of the sport, Team USA's coach says.
This is my fourth time to Iran. We've been treated extremely well, as we have in the past, and as we try to reciprocate when they come to the United States.
While political tensions between the U.S. and Iran have been escalating since President Trump assumed office, the head of Iran's wrestling federation tells me politics have no place in this sporting rivalry. We are two very powerful international wrestling teams, he says, and along with others, we're trying to help the sport internationally to promote wrestling throughout the world. Iran and the U.S. are clashing once again on the wrestling mat, and now that the diplomatic hurdles have been cleared, the athletes say their only focus is trying to win it all. Fred Pleitkin, CNN, Kermanshah, Iran.
영도자 김정일 동지는 비범한 예지로 인민 대중의 자주 위협, 사회주의 위협의 영원한 승리의 길을 밝혀주신 심도에 있어서 세계를 진간시킨 위인적 품모와 혁명 업적에 있어서 위대한 장군님과 같으신 절세의 위인은 없습니다. 위대한 장군님께서는 인민군대를 그 어떤 제국주의 침략 세력도 일격에 경멸소탕할 혁명적 수령관에 관한 사상과 주체의 당 건설 이론, 혁명가의 가장 헌신적이고 영웅적인 투쟁 서사시이며 세계 사회주의 운동사의 미중유의 자옥을 올바른 지도 사상을 지침으로 하여서만 역사의 온갖 시련을 이겨내며 힘차게 전진할 수 있습니다. 위대한 영도자 김정일 동지께서는 리상 사회를 건설하고 완성하는 길을 명시하시었으며 사회주의 위협의 전 과정에 견지하여야 할 전략과 투쟁 방침을 뚜렷이 밝혀주시었습니다.
North Korea has no religious holidays, but make no mistake, this is a time of worship. On the 75th birthday week of late leader Kim Jong-il, tens of thousands flock to one of Pyongyang's most sacred sites. They come to honor two men whose legacy towers over every aspect of life in this highly militarized nation. The men who led North Korea into the nuclear age. A government source tells CNN it's no coincidence North Korean leader Kim Jong-un chose this week to test the latest weapon in his growing arsenal, a ballistic missile and newly developed mobile launcher. North Korea says it's capable of a nuclear surprise attack on key U.S. allies and military installations. And it seems to play well with the people. We're very proud of our military achievements, says this retiree. Now we have nothing to be afraid of in the world. These men have lived under 3 decades of Kim family leadership. All their lives, their government has warned them they're under the constant threat of invasion by what they call the hostile United States. They've seen North Korea's arsenal grow, along with its alienation from the outside world. Do you worry that these tests are isolating your country and leading to more economic hardship? We've always lived under sanctions, he says. We were under sanctions yesterday and today. We're not worried.
The North Korean weapons program began under the late leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, but it has really accelerated under the current leader Kim Jong-un. Just in the last year alone, he has ordered 2 nuclear tests and launched more than 20 missiles, and he's promising more to come.
Everyone we meet on the streets of Pyongyang offers only praise for their leader's military-first policies. As long as we have our great Marshal Kim Jong-un and we believe in him, we're not afraid of anything, says this city employee. We're allowed to approach anyone we want. All give the same answer. In this closed society, nearly all information comes from state-controlled media.
This is the reason why you are sacrificing. This is why you don't have the highest quality of food. You have to work extra hours.
Joseph Bermudez, senior analyst with 38 North, says missile launches and nuclear tests allow the young leader to project power and ensure survival.
North Korea is in this for the long term.
He says Kim's ultimate goal to make it simply too dangerous for any foreign country to threaten his nation's existence. Will Ripley, CNN, Pyongyang, North Korea.
It's been more than 2 weeks since President Trump signed an executive order expanding the authority of immigration officers. And now undocumented immigrants who were largely left alone or even protected under the Obama administration say they live in fear of being detained or deported.
We bought a house, stuff like that. Now we're in the question of what's going to happen to all our future, plans that we had.
In Seattle, an undocumented immigrant arrested by federal officers last week is fighting for his release. His lawyer says he's protected as a so-called dreamer.
He has no criminal record. There are no criminal charges pending against him. He has no criminal convictions.
Legal experts believe this is the first arrest of an immigrant who qualified for DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. In Colorado Wednesday, Jeanette Vizgara, who came from Mexico 20 years ago and checked in regularly with ICE agents, had her stay of removal denied. She is seeking refuge in a local church. In a statement, ICE says her 2 misdemeanor convictions make her a priority for agents.
Right now, it's not just about me. We know that the Trump administration is attacking us not just as immigrants, but as women.
Her background and situation are similar to a mother from Arizona who was detained and deported following a routine ICE check-in last week. The previous administration prioritized the deportation of undocumented immigrants who threatened public safety or national security. But Trump's order goes beyond that with a very broad definition of criminal. Protests have popped up all over the country as people demand justice and transparency. I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
قطر دوست روزهای سخت است. این سخنان اردوغان است در مصاحبه با روزنامه العرب قطر. اشاره اردوغان به حمایت قطر از ترکیه در جریان کودتای نافرجام تابستان گذشته است. اردوغان در جریان سفر خود به کشورهای خلیج فارس در آخرین مقصد به قطر رفت. پیرامون تحولات سوریه با امیر این کشور گفتگوهای مفصلی داشته. او به بازیگران حال حاضر تحولات سوریه اشاره می‌کند و به العرب می‌گوید 3 نکته در رابطه با موضوع سوریه وجود دارد. نیروهای نظامی روسیه از دسامبر 2015 در سوریه مستقر شدند. ایران نیز بر شبه نظامیان شیعه نفوذ دارد. ما نیز دارای یک مرز مشترک طولانی با سوریه هستیم و حدود 3 میلیون نفر از شهروندان این کشور را میزبانی می‌کنیم. ما سنگین‌ترین هزینه را متحمل شده ایم. نهایتاً اردوغان میگوید صلح در سوریه در وهله نخست برای این کشور و بعد از آن از لحاظ منافع این سه کشور بسیار اهمیت دارد. روزنامه آکشام هم به نقل قول از اردوغان می‌نویسد صلح در سوریه برای سه کشور ایران، ترکیه و روسیه حیاتی است. روزنامه‌ها همچنین سفر اردوغان به قطر را بازتاب دادند و از نهایی شدن طرح تجارت آزاد میان ترکیه و کشورهای عضو شورای همکاری خلیج فارس می‌نویسند. دفتر ریاست جمهوری ترکیه هم روز گذشته با انتشار بیانیه‌ای گفت اردوغان در دیدار با پادشاه عربستان خواستار اجرایی شدن این طرح شد و پادشاه عربستان هم دستور پیگیری آن را صادر کرده. روزنامه ملیت اشاره دارد به دستاوردهای اقتصادی سفر اردوغان به ویژه در حوزه توریسم و توافق کشورهای عربی برای افزایش گردشگران خود و تیتر زده دوپینگ توریستی. بنابر اعلام مقامات ترکیه قرار است در سال 2017 5 میلیون گردشگر عرب از ترکیه بازدید کنند. نیروهای ارتش آزاد سوریه میگویند در شهر الباب وارد جنگ خیابانی با داعش شدند. اودی ابوعلی از فرماندهان ارتش آزاد به خبرگزاری آناتولی ترکیه گفته به زودی الباب را آزاد خواهیم کرد. نیروهای موسوم به ارتش آزاد با پشتیبانی ترکیه از چند روز پیش وارد شهر الباب سوریه شدند و میگویند بر 40% شهر تسلط پیدا کردند. روزنامه یعنی شفق هم به ورود نیروهای ارتش آزاد سوریه به الباب اشاره می کند و می نویسد جنگ خیابانی در الباب آغاز شده. روزنامه حریت در این باره می نویسد صدای بیسیم و خمپاره های داعش در الباب قطع شده است. روزنامه سبا هم می نویسد خلوص یاکار رئیس ستاد مشترک ارتش ترکیه از اتمام موفقیت آمیز عملیات الباب خبر می دهد. روزنامه خبرترک همچنین به نقل قول از پنتاگون وزارت دفاع امریکا نوشته از عملیات سپر فرات ترکیه در شمال سوریه بیش از گذشته حمایت می کنیم. و اما روزنامه جمهوریت به دور از این خبرها بیشتر نگاه و البته دغدغه‌اش مانند همیشه متوجه ارزش‌های دموکراتیک در داخل ترکیه است. روزنامه جمهوریت به گزارش اخیر اتحادیه اروپا در مورد آزادی‌های مدنی در ترکیه اشاره می‌کند و از قول این اتحادیه می‌نویسد این راه ترکیه خطرناک است. و نهایتاً تصویر این سگ کوچک امروز بر صفحات روزنامه‌ها نقش بسته بود. پس از 13 روز که در چاهی به عمق 61 متر افتاده بود، نهایتاً توسط نیروهای حوادث اضطراری نجات داده شد، زنده و سالم. و خب شادی نجات یک حیوان بی‌پناه آن اندازه زیاد بود که در صفحات اغلب روزنامه‌ها جایی برای خود باز کند. باری زندگی با همین زیبایی‌های کوچک در گوشه و کنارش است که مفهوم زیبایی را به دوش می‌کشد.